Maybe that'll change.
Yeah,
Let's see. Did
it's
that
still
change it?
there.
No, it didn't. Son of a.
No, it's still there.
Okay, hang on.
There.
Choose virtual.
Yeah, that's it.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, hey.
How are you?
Happy Thursday.
Happy to
Good.
as well.
Good day. Good day.
It feels like a second Monday to me. Is it a second Monday?
Yeah, I kind of did feel like that. Had working on a crazy, crazy deal today, and it was a little difficult to say the least.
Was it?
Yeah. But then I got that, my next post is going to be that beautiful follow-up text I got from the seller uh,
Mm.
that said, we couldn't have did this without you, blah blah. And I was like, yes,
Awesome.
that's
Awesome. So you're
like
talking from the TC standpoint.
yeah, from the TC
Okay.
side.
Gotcha. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
It's good. It's great to get that kind of feedback.
it is, especially with Chris. He's tough. I need that those those great reviews.
He's tough. Is that what you said?
Yeah, he's tough in a good way. Though. In a good way.
Yeah. Well, let's do, if you guys don't mind, go and make a post in the Facebook group real quick. We didn't want to do a registration or anything like that for this last one. Just figured we'd kind of share this link and everybody who was available and wanted to attend this last one could. And just like to kind of debrief a little bit and hear how everybody's experience was, what you guys learned, and leave you off with some ways to move forward. Miguel, what's good, dude?
Tired. That's about it.
Sounds about
Nothing
right. Didn't I
crazy.
say it was a second Monday, bro?
Yeah. Tired.
I feel like I'm on
Tired.
my fifth,
Working.
sixth Monday in a row, homie.
Yeah.
It was a good tired. I mean, I'm busy. Just
Yeah.
grinding, just steady grinding every day.
Yep.
So it's not bad.
Oh shoot, dude. Unbeknownst to me, my microphone wasn't working this whole time. Can you hear me better now? Does that make a difference?
Yes, it did.
Oh. Love you too, man. Thank you.
Sweet babies.
Sounds good. Thanks, buddy. Love you too. Dude, you guys want to hear something funny? So my son, where's Candace? Here you go.
I'm here.
So my son, because before we jumped on here, Candace and I were kind of talking about her daughter a little bit and some of the things that she's doing and some of the exciting stuff going on in business and real estate. And my son, I'd probably say about 18 months now, my son came to me probably 18 months ago, and he
5 minutes Murfreesboro through the long haul at 96 Hendersonville.
Derek's watching the news. Sounds like. You're good, homie. You're good. So 18 months or so ago, my son woke up and he's walking out of his bedroom, and he's got $1 in his hand, and he's like, Dad, I got $1 from the Tooth Fairy. And my son's name is Miles. I said, Miles, that's freaking amazing, man. That's awesome. What are you going to do with that dollar, bro? And he's like, Dad, I want to invest it. How do I make more money? And I was
No,
like,
he
dude,
didn't.
he did. And I've never pushed this on him before. Like occasionally, they see me in my office, they see me doing meetings. They've went and walked a couple properties with me. We've gone to lunch with other investors, went and ate at Red Robin, the whole thing. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't think he was paying attention. And it was something I've never pushed it on him. I've never even talked about real estate or anything like that to him intentionally, really, up to that point. And he said, how do I make more money? How do I take it? And I'm like, dude, holy crap. Like, Like he's like, you know, it's in the air. He's breathing this stuff in, man, whether he wants to or not. So I thought at that moment, I was like, okay, I'm going to buy you this book. And for those of you guys who got kids, there's a great book out there called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And it's kind of like a sister book for those of you guys who are familiar with this one. There's a book out there called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
This one right here.
Yep.
Yep. It's the teen version.
Yep. And now they have a teen version.
Yeah. I got that too. I got it from work.
Oh, it's an amazing, amazing book, dude. It's so awesome to be able to showcase these types of mindset tactics for kids to employ. And so they start learning things like gratitude. They start learning things like responsibility and understanding that the situation that anybody is ever finds themselves in is your own fault. You know, so accepting responsibility for this. So anyway, it's an amazing book, and it goes over a handful of different things like this. And so I bought him this book, and every night we were going through this book, and I thought to myself, I had this epiphany, and I thought about how, like, with this pivot that I'm making and being intentional with my kids now, I think about how it contrasts with how I was raised, and probably a lot of you guys. And the way that I was raised, I'm sure a lot of you can probably resonate with this, is growing up, my thought about money and my understanding about money and my parents' understanding about money was, hey, if you want to go make more money, then you've got to go get a job. You got to go to college. You got to work. If you want to make even more money than you are, you got to work overtime. And you work for 50 years and then you retire. Exactly. Elizabeth hit the nail on the head. Work harder.
Harder. Yeah.
So when I was young and I wanted to go to like high school football games and stuff, I needed money. I needed money to get into the game. I needed money for concessions and needed money to go buy my girlfriend a soda. And I would go ask my dad. I said, Dad, can I borrow a few bucks to go to the game? Well, what do you think he said?
What are you going to do for it?
Exactly. What are you going to do for it? So I either had to do chores, or I had to go clean his car and vacuum his car out or wash his car, do something to go earn that money. Completely redo the house, vacuum the house, shampoo the house, whatever. So that's how his understanding of money was. So consequently, and maybe a lot of you guys can resonate with that, the majority of my life, the first 29 years of my life, that's how I thought you had to go make more money. So of course, once I hit my teen years and I can start driving, my thought process on how to make money became, all right, now I've got to go get a job. And maybe a lot of you, can anybody resonate with this?
Oh, yeah.
100%. Absolutely.
All right. You turn 14, 15, 16 years old, you got a car, but now you've got to go get a job. And you work all through high school. And then what happens at the end of high school? Everybody's pushed to go to college, right? You got to go get in all this college debt.
Yep.
And then you start at the bottom of the totem pole and you got to right? The whole thing. You work till you're dead. And that was how I understood it. And I'm thinking about all of this at the same time that I'm going through this book with my son and my daughter. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. My kids are going to do their chores first and foremost just because they live here. But if my kids want money, then what I'm going to pay them for is to read books, to have conversations with me about this stuff, to talk about business, to talk about mindset. That's what I'm going to pay them for if they're willing to do that. So then when my kids get old enough, once they're in their teens, and by the way, I've started taking like all the money and stuff that I've been giving them for doing this, I'll stash it away. But then when we have like a wholesale deal or something, for example, I'll take $100 from them and I'll use their money. So they're kind of like gator funding my stuff. So I take their money and throw it on the EMD. And then once we either wholesale the deal or we end up doing whatever, once we get the returns back, I'll give them $150. So then that starts becoming ingrained in that's how I make money. So by the time they are in their teens, when they have a car, I don't want them coming to me and saying, Dad, do you got any chores for me to do? Can I go wash your truck? Can I go do whatever? I want them to come to me and say, Dad, what freaking deals do you have? I've got my eyes set on a brand new Corvette. I need $1,200 a month in cash flow to make these $800 a month payments. What do you have that I can throw my money into right now? So that's kind of where I've started making a shift with my kids. And now my son is 8 years old, and he's kind of watched me and asked a lot of questions and things like that. And now he's at the point, we're in Alaska, guys, first and foremost. So it's not like I have a bunch of resources. I mean, you can go start a snow shoveling, business or something like that, but it's not like we got a whole lot of options up here. And so a couple nights ago, he's really into it. And he's got Canva on his school computer. So he loves like creating all these different graphics and things. He's really good at it. And he is like, Dad, like, what business should I start? And I was like, all right, well, let's start with something to get you in the door, to get you creating more money now, not just, me investing the money that I'm giving you, but let's get you rolling. Let's get you doing something beyond just a lemonade stand, because that you've done something like that in the last 2 years. So I'm like, all right, well, you can anyway, we're going through over a handful of different things. And one of those ideas that we had was he can go up and down our street like once a week, just collecting bottles and recyclables and stuff like that. And he liked that idea. And unbeknownst to me, my wife told me this after the fact, but so yesterday he goes and he gets a big box of trash bags out of the house, and he puts them on the porch. And I'm like, okay, this guy's going to go. I love where this is going. And we got a school at the end of our street. So I'm like, dude, go to the school, get all their recyclables. This will be great. And he doesn't know anything about recycling, but I thought I made myself clear. Apparently I didn't, but he goes and starts collecting all the trash. So I see him a couple hours later, and my entire front porch is just covered in trash. He went and got all the trash from all the neighbors. He went and got all the trash from in between the gutters and all those other things. So now I've got all this trash on my front porch. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do to get rid of. But it was neat at the same time because, and I felt bad because just the defeat, and then I ended up telling my wife this, and she's like, Jesse, they don't recycle in Alaska. I was like, they don't recycle. What are you talking about? But apparently, unbeknownst to me, and she was telling me, like, even at the hospital that she works at, they don't recycle there because all that stuff has to go on a barge, and it's got to leave the state, and it's way too expensive to recycle. So it's something that doesn't exist here. So anyway, it was a great first lesson because he was really defeated. He was really upset. Like, he just spent, an hour or two collecting all this garbage where he thought he was going to get paid for collecting all this garbage. And
what I'm hearing is there's a market for a recycling plant in Alaska.
Yeah. There's a lot of opportunities up here in Alaska.
Technically,
I don't know what all that looks like, but yeah, man, for sure.
You start a small. You start small with a like a factory or something like that. Get some contracts of how you're gonna get that shipped over. Maybe even just melt down like glass and aluminum and whatnot. Reuse. Maybe get some nonprofits in there, essentially saving the environment. I mean,
there we go.
Got something right now. That's all I'm saying.
I like it, bro. Well, this is recorded for a reason.
Apparently,
next thing we know, Jesse's in the recycling business, multi-billion-dollar industry in Alaska.
Only one in Alaska. Alaska takeover.
I mean, think about it. The only one that's a monopoly right there. Got to start somewhere, right?
100%.
Angel put in the chat that Anchorage recycles.
Anchorage does recycle? That is good to know. Whitney, do you know if Wasilla recycles?
I'm not sure about Wasilla recycling, but I know Anchorage does because they give you the option to have when they pick up your regular trash can, they can pick up your recycles too.
That is really good to know because they don't give us that option in Wasilla.
Probably not.
Interesting. Well, I wouldn't mind making a trip to Anchorage once every other week or something to haul down. That's good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll save you a bucket. I'll save you a spot for your recycles.
You still have a business opportunity there, especially if you're already doing that. I mean, you hire some people, load some trucks, get some U-Hauls, get some trailers, everybody around you in your town. Now you got a recycling company.
Someone will be coming back going, I don't want that Corvette. I need a truck. I need a pickup truck. I got a
About it.
Hey, you know what? Things have started just like that for sure.
I mean, the organization that moves your trash from your house to all they do is they take your garbage cans out. It's like $5 per house, but what they do is they drive up and down the streets and they'll take your garbage can from the front of your house, put it out to where the garbage truck can pick it up, and they'll come in the afternoon of the same day of whatever garbage day it is and return it. It's a multi-million-dollar industry now.
Mm.
And it started with just a couple guys were like, yeah, we're just gonna same thing for like apartment complexes, being able to take trash from a doorstep. Because I thought about that when I was in college and I brought it up to my mom and she shot it down so fucking hard. But yeah, first dream, I was like trying to be an entrepreneur, do the same thing, truck with a trailer and just pitch to the apartment complex that they could essentially, I didn't know anything about NOI or anything that did the value increase it would add to their apartment complexes. So I didn't know how to pitch it at the time, but brought it up to my mom and she shot it down super hard. But that's something your son could start doing, or when they get older, if it's not there, is start pitching like, hey, we're doing recycling for those people that care about the earth, and then go from there. And then eventually he goes from doing it himself to owning a couple trucks, owning a couple trailers, to owning a couple garbage trucks, and there you go.
I love that, bro. That is a really good idea. He could actually start with his bike and just kind of going up and down the street, bringing up people's cars.
Jesse, you get him started now, and he'll have his own business. By the time he's 18, he can be the first one having it running.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like you said, a little bike with a trailer behind it, go to all the neighbors, pick up glass bottles, something super simple, or maybe crushed cans.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Couple dollars a house. It's no big deal.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. That's what's awesome about being able to come here and open up a dialogue and have this conversation, man. You never know what's going to come out of it. Yeah, so thank you guys.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the watermelon challenge though. How many people in here, not to like deviate or anything, even though this is supposed to be about the watermelon, not to deviate from my son's shit.
That was a great segue though. I love that. It was perfect.
No, thank you. Miguel made the transition, man. That's actually a really good idea though. I'm going to write that down.
Do what I can.
Provide value where I can to everybody I come across.
Such a go-giver.
You said something and I wanted to write it down. It was so good. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the recording. You made me think of something. But you said something that was really good. All of it was really good, but you said something that triggered something. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. We'll come back to it. Gosh, it was so good. Damn, yeah, I lost it. Anyway, segueing here for a second. Candace, where do you want to start? Should we start with like a little bit of Q&A?
That sounds good.
Okay.
I don't know, Rocio. Where is everyone?
Rocio, actually, we got a couple more people in here. We got 17 people here now. If you guys haven't yet, can you take like 2 minutes, please, and go make a post, share this Zoom link in the Facebook group.
The creative or the House of Cards one?
No. The Watermelon Challenge Facebook group.
Oh, the Watermelon Facebook. Okay.
Thank
you.
Please.
Please and thank you. That would be super helpful.
Yeah. Love it. So we before the call, Jesse and I were chatting about, we were talking about what everyone was doing and how the folks have squatted up and what that looked like, what your experience was, how it was, to work with other people. I know we don't have a lot of people on the call to be able to like expand that, but is anyone here part of a group? Let's start there. Angel?
Angel's raising her hand. Actually, sorry guys. Yeah. While we're doing this, I'm going to stream this live into the group too. Hopefully we can get more people in here. But Angel, yeah, come off mute. I'd love to hear what you have going on.
How about now?
We can
We can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. So, Ken Wilson and I, we kind of got together when the Watermelon Challenge first started, and we started a group with the Northwest individuals, and we've been working or meeting every Saturday and just talking and seeing where everybody's at and helping each other out. And we've had a few people that are consistent in every week, and you know, some people miss it because they have other obligations, but we've been trying to do it every week on Saturdays. And we've come up with a couple of side things. You know, if we can't go through the Watermelon Challenge, we've got, you know, other options, you know, because we've met each other, and because of the Watermelon Challenge, you know, it's a great thing. I appreciate you guys very much.
Likewise. I'm glad to hear that you've been, you know, gotten together with consistency. Like, it sounds like, I know for my team, that's huge. We need to be together at least, you know, once or twice a week to talk through things, bounce things off of each other. What did you like? What brought you guys together, and how did you decide who does what? Or is it, you know, talk me through that. What does that look like?
So when it first started, the Watermelon Challenge, I had posted on the main part of the group to meet up or have a meeting with the Northwest people. And Ken was the first person that got a hold of me and was right there on board with me and helping me get, you know, people together and meet up. And I think our first Zoom that we had, of course, we didn't have everything set up right, and it kind of went haywire. But anyway, we got meeting, and I think we had 6 or 7 people show up. And then, you know, there's a few people the next week. We kind of missed this week because Ken's in the middle of moving. But other than that, we just bounce ideas off of each other, and then we hook up, and we know that, okay, well, this person that's here and wants to be part of this group and, you know, is consistent, that's, you know, they're good at this, and then that person's good at that. And without you guys starting the Watermelon, we wouldn't have, you know, really probably got together and coincided and figured that out.
That's fantastic. When you guys, I know Ken had submitted some deals to the challenge. Did you guys go together on that? Was that something that he did on his own? Did you actually like kind of get together on the property?
We talked together about it.
Yeah.
Like, he would run the numbers, and then I would help him send them. I think I sent one to Jesse too, because it didn't look like it had come out right. But and Josh was part of it. There was a few people that, but we didn't leave anybody out. We all talked about it together.
I love that. Does anybody else have?
We have a plan.
We have a plan. I like that. I like that. So it's going to go on far beyond the challenge.
Yes.
That's nice to know.
So do you guys, let's
like
talk about that for a second. I'd love to kind of talk about partnerships a little bit. One of the things you said, this is going to go beyond like just today. You guys are going to continue working together and seeing where you guys can align and do some stuff together, right? Have you guys
Correct.
worked out like any like roles or responsibilities? Like how clear
we
are
are
with each
in
other
the
yet?
process. We're in the process of Ken and myself have contacted oh crap, who's the people that who does Pace go through for LLC?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so Ken and I have both contacted them. Ken is actually already signed up with them, and we are in the process of how we are going to work out the JVs and how everybody will be, what part they will do and be responsible for, and the split up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're talking about responsibilities in terms of taking this property down. Like once you guys own it, who's going to do what? Is that am I understanding correctly?
Correct. Like who's going to be the one responsible for finding the money, getting the money? Who's going to be responsible for making sure that afterwards we do have it, managing it or making sure it's managed correctly? Somebody's got to do all the underwriting, and then there's all the kinds of parts. I mean, we don't have every single point. I mean, there's not a person for every single spot yet. So we're always looking, but there's plenty of Northwest people, and we'd love to have you join us, but as we go, we're working it out.
I love that. I love that. I think that's one of the best ways to go about it. Candace and I were kind of talking about this. Just some of our experiences in the past with just real estate and business and partnerships and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I ended up learning was there were times in my life over the last handful of years that I've been in previous partnerships longer than I should have been. But I just kept telling myself, hey, you know what? Like, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. And a lot of times you end up wasting a lot of time and energy. And one of the things that I learned is to make sure that you're having, when you get into partnerships, to make sure that you guys are having upfront conversations, you're setting expectations, you're seeing not only where you guys come into alignment, but what are your goals? What are their goals? What kind of business do you guys want to create? And once you have an idea on what that business looks like, think of your business kind of like an umbrella. Maybe you guys are going to start a wholesaling business. Maybe you guys are doing buy and hold. Maybe you're starting a TC business, whatever that umbrella looks like. And then underneath that umbrella, you've got these different avatars that need to be filled in. And so understanding and having clarity on what that looks like for you and what that looks like for Ken is going to keep you guys streamlined. It's going to keep you guys focused, and it's going to alleviate you from having to fill in all of these avatars. And when I say avatars, for everybody who's not in sub 2 or doesn't know what I'm talking about, when I say avatar, I mean, there are certain roles. When you look at a real estate deal from beginning to end, from the time that even before you even talk to a prospect, finding prospects, to reaching out to them, to organizing the follow-up, the CRM, the whole back-end stuff, streamlining processes, automating things, which dialer you're going to use, tracking the KPIs, training the people under you, to actually having somebody who can close the deal, somebody who can underwrite it, somebody who can handle all the paperwork and the communication. There's a lot of different jobs that we call avatars involved from beginning to end. And under this umbrella, having clarity on what it is you guys are wanting to do is a great conversation to start out. What kind of business you guys want to run. And that'll help alleviate you guys from having a partnership 3, 4, 5, 6 months, 12 months down the road. And you're like, man, like maybe this partnership, as great as people as great as person as that individual could be, we're just not a good fit. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're waiting 12 months down the road to figure out, hey, you know what? We're not even under the same umbrella of what kind of business we want to build here.
I'm getting wet over here. Yeah, but I honestly, Jesse, I have to thank you, because I would not have done any of this, to be honest with you, if I had not met you. That very first time I met you on that Zoom was the very first Zoom I've ever done, because I hated the shit. I don't like doing them, but I felt very comfortable with you. You made everything, and I appreciate you, and thank you very much.
I feel the exact same way. I'm very appreciative of you and grateful for the opportunity that we've had to be able to connect and to build a relationship. And thank you very much for the kind words. I'm glad that we're in each other's backyard. And I appreciate it. Just some of the things I just wanted to share with this watermelon challenge as we leave everybody from today and moving forward. I want to give you guys something to think about, some clarity, some action items that you guys can take over the course of the next handful of weeks before we restart up that second seed. Because one of the things that we saw, especially over the last week and a half or so in the Facebook group, is everybody's like, hey, squatting up. Hey, I would love, this is what I am. I'm a visionary, or I'm direct to agent, or I can go find these leads. What I need help with is somebody to underwrite. Who in here is an underwriter? Where can we come into alignment? So I love that. And Candace and I, we were seeing all these comments, and it was just awesome to see everybody squatting up and getting more intentional with what it is they're wanting to do and who they need to be aligning themselves with. And so we thought, hey, you know what? This would be a great segue to maybe shed a little bit of clarity on, when you guys are building these relationships and potential partnerships, on here's a structured way to make sure that you guys are really actually in alignment with what it is you're wanting to do, and how to do it, how to have that clarity. So having that discussion with, what does that umbrella look like? What does our business model look like? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? Are we even in alignment there? And if you are, then we need to start figuring out, okay, underneath that, there's all these different things it takes to get a deal closed. So what is your avatar? What is the one thing that you're good at? Because the mistake that most people make is trying to do all of these avatars. And there's so many different avatars. And not only is there so many avatars, there's so many different things that has to happen within each avatar. If you guys are doing it all yourself, you will never get anywhere.
And it's so true. I've seen it happen time and time again. You know, what do you gravitate toward? What are you good at? But also there's this other piece where, what is going to challenge you? You might be really great at something and maybe okay at something else. But if you're going to build a company and you have a ton of things to get done, you're going to wind up doing something that might not just necessarily align with your avatar or what you've been initially drawn to, but you also might find that you're really good at something you never expected. If you have, like, especially if it's a small group, you have 16 things to get done, you've got 3 people doing it, somebody's going to do something that doesn't align with their avatar, and that's okay. So, you know, be open to learning something new. It might not be where you resonate, but it will give you the chance to understand that piece. So when you find someone who does that avatar, you can even appreciate them more, because you don't want to do it, but you have this ability it's an opportunity to learn. For me, and I had mentioned this to Jesse before, I was in the back office. I was never seen by anyone. I was part of running movie theaters. I was running, you know, all kinds of crazy things. And I started a company, and I was not supposed to be in front of people. I was going to run the office, answer the phone, do the graphic design. Turned out I was the person who needed to go out on the road and start doing sales. And the first time I did it, I cried. I sat in the parking lot. I didn't know what I was going to say. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just like out of my element completely. But you do the things you need to do. And I jumped in and did it. And it was rough those first couple times, not going to lie. And then I found my space. I found that I can cold call. I can walk into a place and just do jazz hands if I need to, but whatever it takes, I get to, do what I need to do to connect with that person. And I found out that that's a sweet spot with me, because I do care, and I'm fascinated by people. And the opportunity came out of the need, the necessity of doing something that was out of my element. So even if your first thing isn't to jump in and do underwriting, learn it, understand it. Doesn't mean you have to do it every time. Find someone who wants to do it more than you, but understand it, because if you're going to have a company and something a group that you're working together, there needs to be redundancy. There needs to be people that can look at an underwriting and go, wait a minute, but what about this and what about that, and have you considered? So having that redundancy is going to be a big deal moving forward as well. So just wanted to throw that out there. You never know where the opportunity is going to come from.
Hey, Candace.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, how you doing? That was that's very good, because I had actually had been thinking about that too, and especially if you're new and when you're getting into it, it's kind of overwhelming a little bit. But if you yeah, a lot. But yeah. So if you just kind of slow down a little bit and listen to everybody and absorb it, and then just kind of take it at your own pace, and then it kind of clicks. Something, get with a team or get with people, and then you'll find your place. And then that's kind of how, it takes off, I think. Is just not when you first get in and you first start talking and all that, not thinking, well, I'm going to get my first deal tomorrow. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Just take it gradually and learn, and then, move on from there. I think that's it. Because when I first started, I thought, man, I'm going to get in here and I'm just going to knock it out in a week. No, that's not the way it works. You listen to the professionals and you understand what they're saying, and then you just kind of gradually get into this, and then it'll click and you'll find your place.
And so did you find your place, Derek? What are you doing? What is your avatar? What do you want to do?
I'm more right now, I think this connector is kind of what I'm doing. I'm like in between. I'm talking with agents and wholesalers, and I just think that's my place. When I first started, and I've just been in since March, but when I was like, I'm just going to do direct to seller and go for it and do that. And then just as I gradually started moving, something has kind of hit me, because I was talking to this side and I was talking to that side and all that, and things started moving in the direction. So I think connector right now.
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Anybody here need a connector?
Excuse me?
Anybody here need a connector? Is there anybody here?
I'll be glad to help.
Jesse's raising his hand.
I talked to Derek this morning already specifically about that, because I need help connecting.
Yes, we did.
If you guys need help with anything, make sure you reach out to Derek. He's the man.
Well, no, Jesse's the man. He's basically the one that when I started listening to, it made my mind go in that direction. He's the one that really, I guess, narrowed it down and helped me the most.
Well, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that.
That's so good.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank everyone.
Glad you're here.
Yeah. Thanks. Hey, Frederick.
So partner driven, that's not your name.
Oh, no, it's not. Actually, it's absolutely that's who I work for, because I coach people in real estate nationwide. It's kind of a long story, but how did you get on the sheet? Because I was trying to figure out how to get my name on the sheet. I guess maybe I came to the party late or something.
Well, I think I know someone who could maybe put the link in the chat. So it is in the featured section of the Facebook group. And I'll stick it in the chat for you. So it is under, where's it at? Submitted deal, squad up region list, and then we have the squad up. I'll give it to you. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, amazing question.
Yep.
Great.
I wanted to squad up. I mean, I really did. I wanted to find a squad and get moving with that. But yeah, I didn't. But
yeah, so what we did was we created a form, and then if you go to the form, fill it out, it gets added to that big long spreadsheet with like 150 people. So you'll have a nice long list to be added to and group with. So thank you for asking. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here. It's been cool. I've enjoyed it.
I'm glad. You're in North Carolina,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Sure am. Yes, I am in big, beautiful Broadway, North Carolina.
Well, I'm about 45 minutes away from you.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that a thing, Candace? Because being from Alaska, I don't get that. I can't just look at somebody and be like, you know what? Most people would probably guess Idaho, but it's not. I bet this guy's from North Carolina.
I saw his deal come through. So he had some deals in Lillington. And so I'm in Pinehurst. That's where I'm at.
Oh, yeah. I was just down there. I was in the dog parade for the 4th of July.
Oh, were you? How cool is that? Yes, we have a very small town. We have dog parades.
Okay.
It's cool. It's lots of golf courses, but it's cool. So it's all good. Is today the last day for the challenge? Well, the challenge can still go on. You guys can definitely keep working together, and we're going to keep the Facebook group open. But right now we are pausing the Zoom calls for several weeks at least. Everybody needs a break. It's summer. We've done a lot, and so to my knowledge, it's going to be a minute until we figure out how we regroup and what we come back with in C2. So
100%. And that was kind of where we wanted to leave you guys off with today. And I know last week we talked about squatting up and finding those right people that complement your skills and figuring out how you guys can move forward together, and how you can, and I talked to a handful of people just from this challenge alone who changed their entire business model to focusing on this, which I think is awesome. Depending on how you're doing it or what your umbrella, so to speak, looks like. I mean, you can do this where your overhead is virtually almost nothing. And it only requires a very small amount of your time every day, as long as you're consistent. I think that's the thing. And I'm going to pick on Derek for a second, just because he said his. I'll give you an example, just because he said his. No, in a good way. Not like putting you on blast. Not that I have anything to put you on blast for, but just being a connector. As an example, there's so many people that I've talked to that want to monetize the connector avatar, but they're not doing it intentionally. They almost do it as kind of like a side gig. They're like, oh, I'm wholesaling in this area. I am a buyer in this area. I'm doing Gator, and I'm a connector. And so they got all these kind of different things that they're doing. But when it comes to connecting, and they want to figure out how, why they're not monetizing on it, it's because they're not talking with enough people. They don't have something in place. They don't have something structured. A lot of people wake up every day as if it was on accident. And they're like, man, I'm alive today. Okay, let me go to Facebook and see what's there. And so they go to Facebook and they're like, okay, this person's got a deal. Oh, interesting. Somebody's got something here. This may be something I want to buy. Don't know. Maybe I'll go to Facebook and say, hey guys, I need a private money lender for 30 grand for this deal in Tennessee or North Carolina or Idaho or, wherever. And that's kind of how they run their business. And so we wanted to leave you guys with some sort of an idea and structure on how you can take the things that you guys have been going over the last 6 or 7 weeks that we've been doing this now. I think it's been 7 weeks technically, but because we took the week off for the 4th of July, but we've still been doing it. So wanted to give you guys some closure and some clarity as we leave you guys for the course of the next handful of weeks before we start it up again, and be intentional with what you've done, what's worked, what hasn't worked. Maybe it's been your consistency or lack thereof, or maybe you've been really consistent, but maybe you just haven't had the right people in place to move as fast as you want to. And so that's kind of how Candace and I wanted to jump in here and leave something for you guys to consider and to think about, especially over the last course of the last week and a half, where we've been seeing a lot more people getting intentional with squatting up and finding partnerships. And so, Angel, thank you for coming on and let me kind of use you as an example really quick to kind of help everybody understand, where that clarity comes from and how to structure and set expectations, all that kind of stuff. And one more thing I'll add, Angel, on top of that was one thing that I love to do. And like I said, I've been in different partnerships over the last handful of years where I stuck in there longer than I should have, just because I kept thinking, hey, you know what? Like, these are great people. Like, it's just not our time yet. And so I keep sticking with it and sticking with it and sticking with it. And it's just not the right fit. It's not to say that they're wrong people or that they're bad people, but they're not the right people for you at this time. And so one of the things that I have done and would continue, or actually in the middle right now, Chris and I, of bringing on an integrator into our business. And so bringing on new partners. Do what?
And you didn't pick me.
Dude, you were the first choice if you weren't already integrating for somebody else, man. Gosh, Candace. Damn, Jackie. So one of the things that we're doing is setting up expectations of saying, hey, you know what? We're going to work together for the next 90 days. And on day 90, we are done. Our relationship is through. We are history. There's termination here. Whether your business is bad or whether you guys are making a shit ton of money together, in 90 days, we're moving forward with the expectation of on day 90, we're done. And on day 91, if we want to rehab that conversation of, hey, you know what? Let's continue what we're doing. Then we can.
Let's continue.
Let's continue.
You can come at it from that renegotiation, right? Like, so you get to have that postmortem, look back at the last 90 days and say what worked, what didn't. How, you know, you have that, you're giving yourself that opportunity to renegotiate your deal. And that's huge. Speaking of integrators, I'm going to shift for a second because this is something that I've been thinking about for a little bit. And I have conversations with people all the time, and I run into this a lot. Great. Yes. Jill just wrote how to respectfully start and exit partnerships. Exactly. But what I'm thinking is for integration, we might take, if, you know, when we restart this, or maybe somewhere in between, we might have do a Zoom about processes and what you can do to organize how you're working together with people. If you're doing it, you know, by yourself, you can get away with, you know, an email string, a Gmail, and just, you know, going forth. But if you're working with a group of people, you need to take into consideration how you communicate, where that information sits, what your processes are, and how to make them run more smoothly. So we might sometime in the next month or so, Jesse, maybe we'll just do a Zoom call about.
Ooh, yes. I would love that. That would be amazing. So give everybody maybe a handful of weeks, and just before starting up the Seed 2, maybe Candace and I will come in here and do something for you guys to help you start building that back into your business or understanding things from a different perspective. I love that.
So Candace, how you organize your projects or organize your deals, what it looks like, how that structure behind you, so you're not playing catch up, and you can have everything in one place. You know, we might have a couple different ideas for you to use. Just kind of give you some examples. So
would you guys like that? Would that help you guys at all?
Oh,
yes, definitely. Love it.
Awesome.
Great. We'll figure it out.
Beautiful. Love that.
I see a hand raised. I saw Pam raised her hand before, but she put it down.
Oh, where did it go? I think
it went up and down.
How are you guys?
Hi.
Oh, are you guys speaking to me? I'm sorry. I'm just so eager.
No, we did
good.
with you. Yes, Genius, you were up and you were on. But I just commented that I saw Pam's name was there and then it was gone. So
yeah, I just wanted just to make a comment. I mean, this watermelon challenge has just really opened my eyes just to more knowledge, because I just been in real estate investing probably just for 2 months. And I had an opportunity to where I was able to step away from my W-2 for a while and really kind of go full-fledged with this. And I'm just learning more because I've been in sales for 10 years. So sales for me, it's like quick, fast transaction. And sometimes I'm realizing that it's not always going to be like this. It's almost like it's almost like going to school to be a doctor. You can't know how to operate so quickly in the first month or two. So it's just still just learning the business and being patient and just navigating through it all. And the watermelon challenge, you know, has helped me. I'm like, you know, right on the brink of closing, you know, 2 like $1 million deals, you know. So I'm very excited about that. But even that, it was a lot of emotions and challenges going with that. Like, I realized my avatar is really good with just underwriting, you know. And now I know going into it, like into the next watermelon challenge, have some PML. I had no idea what PML was, you know. None of that stuff. And then now you guys are throwing out this new word, connector. And I didn't even want to say, I didn't know what that was, but what the hell is that? You know, like, what is that?
And how do I monetize it, right?
Yeah, you know, I'm
oh good.
Yeah, I'm really happy. The watermelon has opened my eyes, and just to know even what type of loan and funding, and my realtor is learning a lot, and my realtor is even excited about even working with us even more going forward. So yeah, it's been very profitable. Like this is gonna solidify me really walking away from my W-2. So I'm very excited.
Congratulations. That's amazing. So happy for you. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. That is wonderful feedback to get. Yeah, congratulations on those deals, by the way. Yeah, that's super dope. Super dope.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
So what is your so your avatar? Sales closer?
So I'm just still trying to like work that out. It's so funny that how you guys bringing this back up. The universe is funny because we were just on a Zoom call, another Zoom call yesterday, and it was just about like sub 2, and it just was talking about, you know, your avatar, what's your role and things like that. And I'm just realizing that mine is really just underwriting and working the numbers and the comps. And then my partner, oh, can you guys hear me? Sorry, somebody called me. And my partner, you know, she's good at, as far as, you know, just with the knowledge and, you know, bringing more, I guess, connectors in and bringing in more knowledge. So yeah, I'm still really trying to figure out what my avatar is, but I really think that it's underwriting. Like I really got that down, and it was because of the watermelon challenge. Like I was like, man, I'm really good quick with these numbers. You know, if it wasn't for that calculator, I don't know where I'd be.
I love it.
Jacqueline and Helaman did a great job with that calculator.
Really did. That's amazing.
Yeah, and Jacqueline, she's so great to work with. Just even working like with Jacqueline and her feedback, and I've even been talking like with Angel as well. I mean, everybody is always so available and ready to help. I love being in this community. Really do.
I do too. It's great.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys. This is really awesome. This is awesome. This is great feedback, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys. You know, Candace and I, we've never, and the rest of the gang, you know, we've never done anything like this before. You know, we've been doing this for a handful of years now, and we thought, hey, you know what? Let's do something where we can give back on a different level and provide value and maybe some insight into things people aren't even thinking about right now. Because right now the big thing is like wholesale and creative finance. You know, it's like, man, when you don't have a motivated seller, but you still have a deal, let's open up a different avenue right here where people can continue getting paid and still taking down properties while still leveraging other people's cash, credit, and credentials. So, and I just wanted to share this real quick. I love that you said your avatar is an underwriter. Do you know, are you in sub 2?
No, and that's what me and my partner are trying to figure out right now, because we have just really, we jumped ourselves into so many like investing groups, and we're just trying to figure out, do we want to invest in sub 2? Should we just get the book, you know, and just learn it that way? But we are, that's what we're thinking about getting into right now.
Gotcha. Well, if you ever want to talk offline and just get more information about what you can expect and all that, feel free to reach out to me. Shoot me a PM, and we can.
No, I will. Yeah, I will definitely will, because it's just overwhelming. Because once I get focused on something, it's like you're just like one track, and I don't want to be all over the place, you know. But if I can get like some mentorship with the sub 2, maybe I won't feel so overwhelmed. So thank you for that.
Of course. Yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity. I was just going to say, so you are familiar with Pace at least. Pace has an underwriter that he just hired recently. You know how much this guy is getting paid to just underwrite for sub 2?
What?
$20,000 a month to just underwrite.
Wow. And do you need like any type of credentials for this? Because like I just picked it up so quickly. I'm just doing it.
You know what? That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know what was all involved in Pace bringing this individual on, but this individual he helps sub 2, and he helps all these community members just underwrite properties. And he understands multifamily, commercial, residential, literally everything.
Yeah. And Watermelon Challenge. She's got the calculator. She's golden. She's got, that's all she knows.
The calculator, is it going to go away, or because it's saved in my computer?
No. That's yours. That's yours. You've got it. It won't go away.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
You know what it is? She's a genius.
She's a genius.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. My real name is Christy Mack, but people, a lot of my friends and my family call me Genius. So
we can tell.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
I love it. Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Really appreciate you.
I wanted to. I was just waiting for the opportunity to, but yeah, it has opened up so many doors, this challenge. So I'm excited for the next one, and to keep connecting with you all. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise.
Thanks.
Love it.
All right, Pam, come on down. How you doing, girlfriend?
I'm good.
Wonderful.
As opposed to Miss Genius, I tend to trot around in every area and have it nailed down. And I had a quick conversation with you, Jesse, about needing to nail down, my biggest strengths and avatar. But my question is, if we want to schedule a coaching session with you, how do we do that?
Great question. Just shoot me a DM, and I'll send you a Calendly link, and you can feel free to schedule one just at your convenience, and I can answer more questions about it, and we can kind of get more into the nitty gritty.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Was that all you had?
That is it.
Oh, you're amazing. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, appreciate you, Pam. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Of course.
And gals.
Sebastian, what's going on?
Hey, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Dude, you get a haircut, bro?
Yep. 3 days ago.
Damn, fantastic, bro. You're like a modern day like George Clooney, bro.
With the summer is a little better, these shorts than longer. Yeah, so I'm here at Montana already for the camp, which is gonna be exciting. There's a lot of people to meet, but I actually wanted to share something funny that happened today. And I know I spoke with Jesse before, and I'm kind of all over the place because I'm on every community. I'm on Dealmaker, and there's actually a business that the seller wants to get rid of. So I'm also following up on that, and I'm also wholesaling, and I'm also I do several things. At the same time, I don't have kids, nor wife or girlfriend, so nobody takes away time. So I can put more into it. That is something that I have time. Even though I have my other job where I freelance. But today, the funny thing that happened is even though I spoke with Jesse, texted this week, and he was like, yeah, focus on JBing, because I was like, I'm also a connector and a helper. And the funny thing is that even though I woke up 3:30, arrived to the airport, and was on the plane at 6, funnily enough, the couple next to me, the woman next to me, we start chit-chatting. And she's like, where are you from? Do you love New York? And same questions. After they responded, so I'm building rapport, right? After they responded, they're like, where are you going? And I'm like, well, I'm heading to Montana because there's this event. And I'm gonna be with big players in the multifamily and business acquisition spectrum, with whom I have teamed up to bring, deals, leads, investors, whatever it is. Suddenly the husband interrupts and he's like, you're talking to the right person. Talk to her. That's everything he mentioned, and he's left. And we're chatting. At the end of the flight, there was definitely some time that we all slept. At the end of the flight, then he suddenly turns around and he says, like, 3-4 years ago, she acquired 3 hotels at the same time that she bought all of them. And now I have her contact info.
Nice.
So that's where I was telling Jesse, like, within my industry and the connections that I make, and I'm good for building the rapport. Otherwise, they wouldn't give me their info.
Right.
Even though I look very young, and they might say like, well, this guy maybe has or doesn't have the experience. What I'm speaking actually gives them comfort that I'm teaming up with big players and that I actually have knowledge of what I'm doing. And I would just say, just do it on your daily life. Like, I lack confidence when I'm on calls, but not when I'm in person. So I gotta take a little bit more of that position and that same confidence that I have in when I'm in face to face on a phone call, so I can get past this. But basically, today I was making acquisitions when I was talking to her, and I pretty much have her contact right now. And she's like, yeah, let's keep in touch. Let's see what can come up. So right now, by having these partners, I can bring them on to any deal. Same in the industry that I work in, fashion and celebrities. If I get to sit up next to a client for 3 hours or 4 hours during the day, I can pitch them anything on 4 hours.
Yeah, man. I would set a follow-up reminder on your phone to say, what was this lady's name?
Sia. And
Tia?
I have her, Sia, SIA. She's also from India, same as Bina. I wonder if they even know each other.
Interesting. Sia. Huh. Well, I would set a reminder in your phone that pops up every single Tuesday and just says, send Sia a text.
Yeah.
That's not, I promise you, because it sounds great now, and it is, but over the course of the next coming days and weeks and months, things are going to come up. You're going to be busy. You're going to get caught up in your business, and this is not going to want to be a relationship that just falls through the crack by accident. So you need to make sure you're intentional with setting that reminder in your phone now.
One story that appeared on my Instagram, and it was this guy. He's more of a realtor, but doing the same with investors. And it's like a 24-hour story of his day, and he's like on the phone, have breakfast on the phone, blah blah blah, on the phone, on the phone, on the phone, meeting, phone. And it's kind of the game that we're playing. If you wanna actually build those connections, we gotta be calling everyone the whole time and talking to everyone, whether it's investors, whether it's lenders, whether it's realtors, whatever it is.
Yep. I love that, brother. Well, thank you for sharing that. And congrats on the new connection, bro. That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Absolutely.
You know,
when you see Pace, tell him we said, hey.
I will, for sure.
I know you said you're not really comfortable, in calls or in this setting, but in person, the only difference is you haven't had that exposure. You just keep doing it. You will get better and better at it, feel more comfortable at it, more immersed in it. And there will be no difference between when you meet someone in person and you're doing it on the Zoom.
Well, I also like the human interaction. So I'm so much into seller psychology and human psychology since I'm a little kid, and I know body language, so I can read them if they're actually into the conversation or if they're actually ignoring me, and I need to break the barrier. So I guess. And I can also tell it, but it's a little harder when you tell it by the tone of the voice, but you can also get to notice that by a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, for me, the human connection is what has always intrigued me and what I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more the being realistic and saying like, okay, yeah, there's no human connection here, but it doesn't mean that you need it, like just get ahead. But there's also like a lot of, so if you're calling and your voice is, if you're lacking confidence and your voice is like shaky or whatever, if you put your hand on the chest, when it vibrates, when you're talking, that's basically your neutral level that you should maintain on the conversation. So there's all of these tips. Same way as if you're new to cold calling, which I actually changed it to warm calling, so I can motivate myself more psychologically.
I love that.
That's good. I like it.
Stand up, because standing up gives confidence. So if you don't want to be slouching and you're lacking a little bit of confidence, do 5 push-ups and then stand up and do the cold call. You will see how triggered you are. You will see how triggered you are in the call and be like, what's going on? Like yesterday I called, was it yesterday, 2 days ago? I'm following up on this. I actually asked Jesse if you also go after new developments, because there's this house that I came across that it's like 50 years old. Mm-hmm. They're selling it for like $399. I got them down to $370. But when a new house built there, it's over $1 million. So it's a big spread. They just don't want to go lower than 370. And right now, the people that I have telling me they're interested, they're like, oh yeah, I'll do it for 320, but they don't want to go through low 300s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this agent, by my way of communicating with her, it looks like we're having a normal conversation now and then. Mm-hmm. That she basically told me why why it fell 3 times for contract. One was because the buyer was going to a divorce and the ex-spouse didn't want to give him money, and the other buyer. So I'm basically getting every information that I need.
Right.
And I got her to tell me, and one of those was at 370. So now I know that they can go down to 370.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's all by how you phrase it and the words that you use.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, I just wanted to share, and
glad you did.
And
yeah, thank you. Yeah, shoot me a text and just keep us updated, or whatever ends up happening, update us in the group. If we can get more people sharing their experiences like this in the group, it's going to create more of an opportunity for everybody to learn and take away, different things and different perspectives, especially as we start growing, this challenge. And it's neat to see, because I see everybody in the comments, everybody's organizing like, hey guys, we should continue doing like weekly meetups. We should continue doing this and carrying the torch and all the things. So I love it, brother. But yeah, thank you, Sebastian. Thank you for sharing that, man.
And have a great time.
Yes. I like, it all happens. It's like we were saying the other time, it's all about the personalities. And I'm like introverted, extroverted. Like if I'm in a networking meetup and I'm like, okay, I need to network, I can speak with 100 people on one day and there's no issue. But at the same time, it drains me out, because I also have the extroverted side that I'm like, going after this event is gonna take me two days to recover in New York. It's gonna be like, okay, nobody speaks to me. I need time on my own.
Yep.
I need to get my head together again. And it's just part of learning how we are and analyzing yourself a lot.
Yep.
Basically every day, questioning everything you do, keep your ego in notice. Your ego is always gonna play.
100%.
But if you keep an eye on it, you can always say, oh, here's my ego. Thank you, but I don't need that,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Good
I
stuff.
agree 100%. Yep. Thank you for sharing that, bro. We love you. And I hope you have, are you in Montana right now or no?
Yes.
Oh, you made it. Okay, cool.
I made it.
Well, when's the gang getting together? You guys getting together tonight?
No, I actually arrived today, but barely. There's just like 10 people arriving today. Everyone else is arriving tomorrow.
Gotcha. Well, awesome, man. We'll have a great time. Send us some pictures. Share some pictures on the Watermelon Challenge Facebook group.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
And share some of the nuggets that you're learning from there, man. We wish we could be there with you.
Sounds good. Will
All
do.
right, brother. Thank you. Love you, man. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. You too, man. Everyone.
Thank you. All right, Lisa.
Lisa G.
Lisa in the house.
Wow, that was I loved his story. It was so nice to meet you and hear about your story. Very inspirational. I've kind of been going through the same kind of thing, meeting people, and I just really kind of went into this as, well, this challenge was more of like a learning thing for me. And because I'm more focused on I've been working with some ladies on a business, like commercial deal for like 145 lot land development project. So that's been my focus. And, but I really wanted to do something else separate on my own too. So I really wanted to follow this group. So I really think everything that you guys put out has it's been so great. I wanted to take advantage of it more, but I just got a little bit too busy. But hopefully Elizabeth and I will be doing something soon. The other thing, what I wanted to bring up was this idea. So I need to calm. I get so excited, just like what Sebastian said, that I get a little bit, it's hard for me to talk on these two, but we just got a really exciting opportunity for this park sorry, it's a little emotional because it's been like 9 months of really hard work to join ventures with like a really big amusement park here. I can't say anything about it yet, but there's a possibility that like several people could join in together and buy tiny homes. So like everybody in this group could come in and like have your own Airbnb at this amusement park. So when that happens, I will bring it to you guys right away if you're interested in it.
Definitely. That's awesome.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
me in.
Congratulations.
How emotional you are. This is amazing.
Well, if any of you haven't actually had a conversation with Lisa, you should definitely do that, step one, because she's got this incredible vision that she's building out for this, you know, this whole community of the tiny homes. And it's a labor of love. It's a passion project. And she's going to do some great things here.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I'll let you know.
What's the timeline looking like, you think? Is this something like in the next 6 months? Can we expect this over the next 18 months? Like, what are you thinking?
Probably the next 6 months. Yeah, sooner than later. Yeah.
Really?
It's been a while.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're waiting to hear back from somebody that's been the engineer on the project, and we're waiting to find out when we can go meet with the people at the park that he's been working with them privately, like their friends. The engineer, you know, the person that draws up our construction plans to do the whole land development part. So it just seems like it's all like lined up so perfectly. So we'll see. Really soon though, like within the next couple of weeks, I'll know more.
Amazing. So are those Airbnbs, are they going to be inside the park?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But so
Jesse, no. Lisa, you don't have to explain no more. No, Jesse let her tell us when she's ready.
Chris James, you're in here.
Jesse's trying to get all the information from you. No.
Yeah.
Man. Hey guys, we talked about setting a 90-day limit on business partners, right?
Yeah, it's exciting.
But no, Lisa, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Definitely keep up the great work, and definitely let us know exactly what that looks like when you're ready.
Thank you. I will do that.
Jesse got to know how many. He's about to go down the whole list. He had a whole checklist.
There's going to be cotton candy here, right, guys? Is anybody going to be running the cotton candy store?
We're gonna have that.
Is there room to get in on that?
Yeah,
love it. Well, thank you.
We'll have a
Thank
healthier
you, Lisa.
version of that. She won't have cotton candy, but something healthy.
Yeah,
there you go.
I love it. Ants on a log. Love it. Thank you, Lisa. Congrats.
Thank you. Thanks.
Pam.
Cauliflower.
Pam.
Good old Pam.
I'm sorry to speak again, but
you don't got to apologize. That's why we're here.
Lisa made me think of something, and I've talked to Derek about it several times, but I am very passionate about veterans. Especially I come from a family of military men.
Derek, were you prepared for this conversation in public?
No, I'm going to leave the room now. Okay. I'm going to leave the room.
But I was, when she talked about the tiny homes, and that sounds great for the Airbnbs. I think tiny homes are awesome, but I would love to see if this community, and I'm just throwing this out there because I don't know how this could happen, could do something similar for injured veterans, homeless veterans. And if anyone ever hears of anything like that, I definitely want to be involved.
Please PM me. I'm working on one right now.
You just talked about what I'm doing for what I had that exact plan in my future for the veterans.
So,
oh my God.
So Cam and Angel, connect with me. I'll put my info in the chat because I'm part of a women's little meetup thing on Messenger. And all of us in that group are pursuing like a shared living experience, things for different things. Like I'm doing sober living, another's doing veterans, another is doing foster care, the kids that age out of foster care. But it's all around, shared living homes to support whatever the cause is.
Definitely. I'll hook up with you. Thank you.
Can I jump in here real quick?
So with that, Elizabeth, I'm assuming you're joining like Jen Brown and Jennifer Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So essentially that's what they're doing. They already have a transition home in Texas, and they have nonprofit organizations that they already work with. And I think they briefed it in this, not in the watermelon challenge, but they briefed it in the house. I don't know why I'm looking at my screen's over here. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Okay. So yeah, so Jen Brown and Jennifer Matthews, one's an investor out of Corpus Christi and the one's an investor out of Canada. And they already have transition homes that they work with. Pam, they already tried or are working on as well the homes for homeless veterans as well. So they're doing that exact same thing. There's also another investor, I got to remember his name, that I connected with 3 months ago, and he already did the homeless vet tiny homes. He sent me all the tiny homes. He had them created. He got it approved through his, I want to say it was governor in his area, and one thing led to another, and they had 7 or 8 or 6 or 8 tiny homes already created. And what they did was they got together with the local high schools, and what they did was get the woodshop classes would essentially create the tiny homes. And what would happen was they would not employ the youth, but it would essentially be like an organization where they would do it in school. They were doing it for homeless vets, and essentially the yearly project would be create this tiny home with the supervision of contractors. They had like 30 schools involved where they were creating tiny homes.
Wow.
Essentially employing disenfranchised youth who were in pretty bad neighborhoods, giving them life skills, and they would create these tiny homes for homeless veterans. And one thing led to another, and something happened with the government or the governor or something like that. He was just doing it till he got elected, and then they kind of just turned their back on the whole situation.
Is he a Democrat? No, I'm just kidding.
No, the person I'm talking, the investor is he probably is a Democrat. No, I'm just kidding. But the investor, yeah, so he was doing that whole thing. That was like a 2-year long process where he was doing all that, connecting with the local high schools and all that other good stuff. So they, man, I really wish I remembered his name. I have him on my friends. I think it's David or something like that. Yeah, so there's a bunch of people doing that stuff for veterans.
And Jesse, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent. I just wanted to bring that up while it was on my mind.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's what these are for. I love this. That's the whole point of these. This is amazing. Thank you for bringing it up.
We were not here. Put it in the challenge. Put it on the Facebook, so people who are here can hear more about what you're doing. And same with everyone. Find out what you're doing, how you're sharing it, and how you're moving forward. Whether it's be for the veterans or anything else that you are interested in, share it. That's what it's for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love it, Chris James.
Man.
Long time no see.
Long time no see it is.
Like we haven't talked at all today.
Forever.
What's up, Chris?
Oh, we got one more.
What's going on, Derek?
Hey, all good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Sorry for my tardiness. Yeah, I was in another meeting. I'm not for sure if Jesse told you guys, but it went very well, by the way. Very well, Jesse.
Awesome.
Extremely well. But what's going on, Michelle? I see you got your hands on.
Michelle.
Hands on.
Hey, what's up? Real quick, I had to jump in because they were talking about the tiniest homes and the veteran housing and stuff like that. I just opened up my first group home in Oklahoma. I partnered up with a lady in there. So I'm definitely
congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Getting it filled. It's going through some trials and tribulations, but it's all a learning experience. It did as an arbitrage, so we're renting it out. But nonetheless, it's working. Going through some, just going through the changes. But the lady that I hooked up with, that I partnered up with, is amazing because she's there. So she has went and spoke to the vets and had a very good response from them. Far as moving forward and, you know, going through the process of getting some veterans and getting veteran housing and using us to actually contract with them. It's going to take a minute before it happens, but I just had to jump on and say I'm very interested in learning more from them, you know, and sharing my experiences and just being able to help more vets and just to offer affordable housing to not just the vets alone, but those that need it.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
No, thank you. And I do have a question. So the challenge is over, but we still can submit deals.
So we're not submitting deals right now. We're putting a halt on submitting deals. But one of the things that we hammered down on last week was, because we don't want everybody to stop the momentum. If anything, we want to give you guys some more skills and some more clarity and direction on what you can do in the interim until we start up the challenge again. And so one of those things was connecting with other people. We talked a little bit about today. I'm not sure what time you jumped in, Michelle, but we talked a little bit about partnerships, what your avatars are, what some of those responsibilities look like, how to set upfront expectations when you're partnering with individuals. And in doing that, hopefully you'll get a little bit more clarity as to what you're good at and where you need to start leveraging the community and the people around you and the experience and talents that they bring to the table. And with that, we talked about not only connecting with people, but going out and finding PMLs.
All right. I currently have a deal, so I really want, I like negotiated for the last hour and a half with this guy.
Oh, well, go ahead and submit it.
Submit it, Michelle. It is.
It okay, but like it's like I want to be a equity partner, so I don't know like really how to go through all that. Because I just don't want to. I mean, if it has to be, you know, I'll wholesale it. I cannot have a buyer for it. But I think I want to try to keep this or be part of it, get a partner with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
love it. Yeah. Let's submit it, and we'll have our team. We'll have our team verify the numbers and make sure that everything makes sense. And once it passes the sniff test, as Stu likes to say, yeah, once it passes the sniff test, we will we'll get in contact with you, and we'll jump on another call and kind of figure out what next steps look like and all the fun things. Each deal is kind of very each deal is really unique and you know, so what I mean. So but yeah, go ahead and submit it, and we'll get to work on it and make sure the numbers make sense and figure out what those next steps look like.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no,
thank you. Chris, I'm still working.
I'm not. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say, but no, that's amazing. That's amazing to hear.
It's all good. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, no, thank you. Candace and I will give the team a heads up so they can watch for that deal to come through.
Absolutely.
Christopher James. Am I the only one that calls you Christopher?
Yes, you
Does
are.
your mom still call you Christopher?
No, it's been a long time since she's been upset at me. It's been a long time.
Christopher Earl. Yeah. Okay.
Guys, it's not Earl. I promise you that is not my middle name.
His middle name is Earl. Don't let him. Christopher Earl. Anyway, brother, glad to hear the meeting went well. Thank you for jumping in. Do you have anything that you would like to leave everybody with before we part this evening?
No, not necessarily, guys. Just make sure. I think there's a lot of phenomenal things that's happening right now with Lisa's story. I know I jumped in the middle of Sebastian's and everyone, but more so, this is actually a perfect example of everyone has their own vision. Everyone has their own inspiration of what they're trying to accomplish. And really, you're the only one that can actually see it. You're the only one that's going to make it happen. You can't count on other people to make it happen because they can't see the vision that you actually trying to input. And I think, Lisa, your story is phenomenal. And I know for a fact, just look at the screen right now, Sebastian, Caroline, David, Angel. I can go down the list of everyone on the screen. I know for a fact they have a vision in their head, and they probably don't know how to execute it. And that's fine. That is okay. You could execute it if you actually more so put the pen and paper and more put the right people around you and literally be consistent with that. And Lisa, I'm going to follow up with you. I kid you not. I'm going to follow up with you because I really want to understand. I'm not going to interrogate you like.
Oh, so
Justin,
it's okay for you to ask her. You want to understand.
He
He wants to know where the cotton candy stand is.
But
I welcome it. I welcome it all. It's fine.
Okay, but I just want to make sure however we could be a resource. I just want to see that through. Whether I'm part of it, Jesse part of it, whoever's part of it, or Candace, I don't care who's part of it. I just want to see it through because I really love these kind of stories and. Whatever that looks like, if he's like, hey, Chris, Jesse, Candace, hey guys, I need you guys help on this. 100%, we're going to be there for you. Absolutely. And not just us specifically, like probably anyone in the Zoom. But literally, just I didn't mean to go on a tangent a little bit, but just your vision, your story is amazing, and everyone has it. And everyone, I truly think everything happens for a reason, and I think you're in the right place at the right time, and that vision is going to come to fruition once everything is done. I guarantee it. And also, you're going to do you're probably going to make an announcement. And also, Jessica will call me like, Chris, fucking Lisa did this. I'm like, I can already.
Yeah, I already know. She told me last month, Jesse. Welcome.
I can already see it. But no, it's just, it's amazing. But truly, thanks for being you. Don't change who you are. Literally, you're going to have obstacles. You're going to go through a lot of different things and just stay positive. Trust me, we're all going through something that no one knows about. All of us. Mm-hmm. It's just the way you get through it. Just stay positive. Okay, I'm done. I'm
thank
done.
You, because I'm gonna call my. So thank you guys. You're all awesome.
Absolutely.
You. We're so glad you're here and happy for you. I'm excited for you. I don't even know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it either. Just saying. But yeah, I'm super excited for you. So I can't wait to hear how it goes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I'm excited to share. I'm really excited to share with you guys. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I love that, Chris. When you said that, I just want to add into this because I also saw a couple of people in the comments who were kind of talking about avatars, and people are like, well, I don't know what my avatar is, or I don't know what my umbrella, I don't know what the overarching business goal looks like. And like Chris said, man, like there's only one you. There's only ever been one you, and there will only ever be one you. And there are so many people, I think, that jump into business. They have no idea what it is they want to do. Mm-hmm. And so they default to, I'm going to go do what this person's doing. And that's such the wrong way to go about it. Wanting to be somebody else is a waste of the person you are. And like Chris said, nobody else can remake that. Nobody else can think the way that you do. Nobody else can have the same vision that you do. And so it's so important to make sure, like Chris said, that you're surrounding yourself with the right people, the people who, even if they don't see the vision, they support the vision, and they're not going to be the naysayers. And it just, I'm almost speechless because I really appreciate you sharing that, Lisa, because it was just almost magical. I think that's the right word to use it. Everybody else, the dialogue, the community, the support that just opened up from the people that are on this Zoom of, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is where we can come and do. I love this. I love this. I love this. So even if you won't share with me where the cotton candy stand is, we still support you. Everybody else still support you. It's such an amazing story. And thank you very much for sharing it.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody else.
Thank you, everyone, for letting me be part of this. This has been amazing. The people I've connected with, the stories and all, it's just been amazing. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be here with you all. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Love you guys. And I think Candace, to leave this, I think Candace had a great idea. I think maybe we'll put like a poll or something in the Facebook group and see, hey, what do you guys need help with right now in your business? Maybe that's some of the back end stuff. Maybe that's structuring. Maybe that's underwriting. Maybe that's whatever. And maybe like once a month, or maybe even once every other week or something like that, we can continue doing. And I love the fact that you guys are already getting in here and saying, hey guys, even though we're done, like let's continue the torch. Let's continue doing this every week. And so we continue growing together, refining our processes, learning from each other, sharing information. Because this is, after all, the Watermelon Challenge. And then here, when we start this thing back up, everybody will be more prepared, and we can kind of kick it off again, man. So again, to Candace and James' point, thank you guys very much for the opportunity. This has been really awesome.
Thank you.
So don't be distant. With that said, you guys have an amazing night. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Candace and Chris, especially. Thank you guys for being here tonight. And thank you for being part of this as well. This has been awesome.
Thank you. It's been amazing. Bye, guys. Thank
See you guys.
All right, have a good one.